in 4 statements. A direct transmission outside scriptures and apart from tradition. No dependence on words and letters. Direct pointing to the human mind and seeing into one's own nature and becoming Buddha. Really does deal with a domain of experience that can't be talked about. But one must remember at the same time that there's really nothing at all that can be talked about adequately. And the whole art of poetry is to say what can't be said. Every artist feels when he gets to the end of his work that there's something absolutely essential that was left out. So Zen has always described itself as a finger pointing at the moon. In the Sanskrit saying, Tat Tvamasi, that art thou, Zen is concerned with that. That, of course, is the word which is used for Brahman, the absolute reality, in Hindu philosophy. And you're it, only in disguise, and disguised so well that you've forgotten it. But unfortunately, ideas like the ultimate ground of being, the self, Brahman, ultimate reality, the great void, all that is very, very abstract talk. And Zen is concerned with a much more direct way of coming to an understanding of that, or thatness, as it's called, tathata in Sanskrit. I think, first of all, the appeal of Zen lies in its unusual quality of humor. Religions aren't, as a rule, humorous in any way. Religions are serious. And when one looks at Zen art and reads Zen stories, it is quite apparent that something is going on here which isn't serious in the ordinary sense, however sincere it may be. The next thing I think that has appealed to Westerners is that Zen has no doctrines. There is nothing you have to believe, and it doesn't moralize at you very much. It's not particularly concerned with morals at all. It's a field of inquiry rather like physics, and you don't expect a physicist to discuss authoritatively about morals, even though as a human being he has moral interests and problems. But as a physicist, he is not a moral authority. Or if you go to an oculist or ophthalmologist to have your eyes adjusted, That is so you can see clearly. And Zen is spiritual ophthalmology. Zen has been described as when hungry eat, when tired sleep. And when the student got that description, he said, well, doesn't everybody do that? And the master said they don't. When hungry, they don't just eat, but think of 10,000 things. When tired, they don't just sleep, but dream innumerable dreams. The fascination of Zen to the West is that it promises a sudden insight into something that is always supposed to take years and years and years. The psychoanalysts, if you're mixed up, they tell you the troubles you've got yourself into over all these years can't be undone in a day. And therefore it will take many, many sessions, maybe twice a week for several years for you to get straightened out. Christians say that if you embark on a path of spiritual discipline, you get yourself a spiritual director and submit yourself to the will of God, but you may not get into the high states of contemplative prayer for very many years. The Hindus, the Vedanta Society people, the Buddhists also say will require many long years of meditation, very hard concentration, very difficult practice, and stern discipline. And then maybe you will make enough progress in this life to become a monk in your next life.
Your turn to pick.
Then you'll make enough progress to enter some of the preliminary stages leading to Buddhahood. But it's all likely to take you many, many incarnations. But when this artist Hasegawa
10 seconds
was asked,
remaining.
how does one see into Zen? He said, it may take you 3 seconds. It may take you 30 years. I mean that. This book called the Mumonkan, which means the gateless gate, contains such stories as the student, I say student rather than monk, because Zen students are not monks in our sense of the word monk. Our monks take life vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And to make the grade, you're expected to spend your whole life in the monastic state. But I call the Zen monk a student because he's more like a student in a theological seminary. He may stay much longer than the usual 3 years. He may stay 30 years or so. But it's always possible for him to leave with dignity and to graduate and to go into lay life or become a regular priest who keeps charge of a temple, can get married and have a family. And only very few graduates of a Zen monastery become Roshi. That Roshi means simply old teacher. That is the man in charge of the spiritual development of the students. So one of these students in the book says to the master Joshu, "I have been here in this monastery for some time and I've had no instruction from you." The master said, "Have you had breakfast?" "Yes." "Then go wash your bowl." And the monk was awakened. Another story in this book concerns a master who said, when a cow walks out of the enclosure,
Prepare for battle.
Whom shall I
the
kill?
horns and head, the 4 legs and the body all get through, but not the tail. How is it that the tail can't
Or
get
as you
through?
bid.
And nobody could answer this. Another story tells of a certain master called Baijan, who was so good that he had
Dispatched.
hundreds of students, and they couldn't all be housed in one monastery.
Look how they
So
flee
he had to
before
find
us.
one of the students
This
who
one's
could
his
also be a
case bag.
master. And so he arranged a test. He put down a pitcher in front of them all and said, without making an assertion or without making a denial, tell me, what is this? And
30
the senior
seconds
monk
to battle.
said it couldn't be called a piece of wood. The teacher didn't accept this answer. But the monastery cook came forward and kicked the pitcher over and walked away. And he got the job.
See no evil.
The battle begins.
Into the shadows. As you bid. Quickly. Like a whisper. Quiet as cat's feet. Quickly, quickly. Here I am. Quietly now.
And all these stories resemble jokes in this sense. Joke is told to make you laugh. When you get the point of a joke, you laugh spontaneously.
Since you put it like
And if
that.
the point has to be explained to you, you don't laugh so well, you force a laugh. There is some kind of sudden impact between the punchline and the laugh. And so in exactly the same way with these stories, there is
Service.
expected to be something else than laughter, which is sudden insight into the nature of being.
Yes. Look, it's me. At your service. Taste.
inquirer about Zen came to a master,
Yes.
often, they approach the Zen master with a kind of key question. What is the
Shall I
fundamental principle
kill?
of Buddhism? Or why did the bearded barbarian come to the West? Because Zen is supposed to have been brought into China
Dispatch.
by a Hindu named Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is always represented as having a huge bushy beard, very fierce eyes. Now, Bodhidharma
Claws are red with the gore
always
of first
insisted that
blood.
he had nothing to teach. And so, why did he come?
At once.
That's one of the fundamental questions.
The assassin returns.
When he first came to China, sometime a little before 500
See no
AD,
evil.
he was interviewed by the Emperor Wu of Liang. The emperor was a great patron of Buddhism and said, "We have caused many monasteries to be built, monks and nuns to be ordained, and the scriptures to be translated into Chinese. What is the merit of this?" And Bodhidharma said, "No merit whatever." Well, that really set the emperor back, because the popular understanding of Buddhism is that you do good things like that, religious things, and you acquire merit. And this leads you to better lives in the future, so that you will eventually become liberated. And so he was completely set back, so he said, well, what is the first principle of the holy doctrine? And Bodhidharma said, vast emptiness and nothing holy. Or in vast emptiness there is nothing holy. So the emperor said, who is it then that stands before us? The implication being, aren't you supposed to be a holy man? And Bodhidharma said, I don't know. Now, it is saying too much, I warn you,
Stealthy and wise.
to say that Zen is trying to point to the physical universe so that you can look at it without forming ideas about it. That is saying too much, but it is the general idea. It's in the direction of being the right idea.
Here I am.
Zen people speak of the virtue of what they call mushin,
Since you put
which
it
means
like
no
that.
mind, or munen, no thought.
Radiant's courier has been
This is not an anti-intellectual attitude. The ordinary simple person is just as bamboozled by thinking
Quiet as
as
cat's
a
meat.
university professor.
Quickly, quickly. I sprint. Why prolong the inevitable? Oh, yes. Quietly now. How the hell did you see me?
You can think intellectually
Your top
in a
tower is
no-think
under
way.
attack.
That last
That's the
hit
art.
didn't go so well.
It doesn't mean not to have any thoughts at all. It means not to be fooled by thoughts, not to be hypnotized by the forms of speech
Yes.
and images that we have for the world, not to be hypnotized by them into thinking that that is the way the world really is.
Yes.
So if I say this is a fan, it isn't. To begin with, fan is a noise. This doesn't make the noise fan. But it can be many other things in the fan.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It could be a back scratcher. Very well. All sorts of things. Don't let words limit the possibilities of life. Actually, this fan has an inscription on it written by a Zen master
tower
who
is
is
under
100
attack.
years old. And it says, I don't understand, I don't know anything about it.
Your top tower is under attack.
Here I am. Dispatched. At your service. Post haste.
So anybody who says that he knows what Zen is a fraud.
Whom shall I kill?
Nobody knows. Just like you don't
Oh, yes.
know who you are. All this business about your name, your accomplishments, your certificates, what your friends say about you. You know very well that's
Look
it.
in your eye.
The problem to know who you are
Bid.
is the problem of smelling your own nose. When the great Japanese master Dogen came back from China in about the year 1200 to bring his school of Zen into Japan, they asked him, what did you learn in China? He said, the eyes are horizontal, the nose is perpendicular.
Seeing is believing. Oh, as you bid. I go in silence. Like a whisper.
So you see, it is this kind of
Could have been invisible.
way of
Since you put it like that.
going about that is so fascinating the West. And everybody who reads about it wonders if somehow, you see, this understanding is right under your nose.
This.
You know how it is, sometimes you get a crowd of people to come into a room, and you put something in the room that's absurd. Like suppose there was a balloon floating on the ceiling. People could come in and not notice it at all.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Or, you know, somebody puts on something weird. Some kind of funny
My
makeup.
skill set is
Your
narrow.
bottom tower is
person.
under
Well?
attack. Your bottom tower has
A woman in a new dress.
Tempered.
No? Haven't you noticed? I said, well, no, what is it? What? No, it's right under your nose. They're staring you in the face, but you don't see it. And Zen is
Quietly
exactly
now.
like that.
Death's bounty. Yes. Quickly. Quietly now. Oh, yes.
is very obvious. The master Bokuju was asked, we have to dress and eat every day. How do we escape from all that? In other words, how do we get out of routine? He said, we dress, we eat. He said, I don't understand. Bokuju said, if you don't understand, put on your clothes and eat your food. Another Zen master in quite recent times was interviewing a student. You see, all these stories I'm telling you are connected. What I want to grasp intuitively. Interviewing a student. And he said,
Yes.
get up and walk around.
In every mind, there must be a loser.
As you bid.
All the humanity!
Dispatched. Whom shall I kill? Since you put it like that. Right now. Post haste.
So, here is this new body. Now let me say, having presented you with all these biographies, let me say a few sober things about Zen as a historical. Zen is a supplement. As you know, that is the school which is concerned with realizing Buddha nature in this world. Not necessarily by going off
The
the
enemy's
mountains
top tower
or by
has fallen.
renouncing family life, everyday life, etc., as if that were an entanglement, but realizing in the midst of life
Your middle
the
tower
possibility
is
of
under
becoming
attack.
a Buddha. And so the great ideal personality of Mahayana Buddhism is the Bodhisattva,
I sprint.
the word now applied to somebody who has attained nirvana, but instead of disappearing,
in silence.
comes back in many, many guises.
Quiet as cat's feet. At your service.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Quick hit. Silent as smoke. Oh yes.
Your middle tower is under attack.
At your service. As you bid. Like a whisper.
Zen is Mahayana,
As you bid.
Indian Mahayana Buddhism, translated into Chinese, and
Quietly
therefore
now.
deeply influenced by
Your
Taoism
middle tower is
and
under attack.
Confucianism. Zen monks
Quickly,
brought Confucian
quickly.
ideas to Japan. And the
Yes.
origins of Zen lie actually around the year 440, at which time a great Hindu scholar by the name of Kumaradeva was translating with a group of assistants
Your
the
top
Buddhist
tower
sutras
is
into
under
Chinese.
attack.
One of his
Post
students
haste.
taught that
Your
all
top
beings
tower has
whatsoever
fallen.
have the capacity to become Buddha, to
Here
become enlightened.
I'm under attack.
rocks, stones, and that even heretics and evildoers have the Buddha nature or Buddha potentiality. And everybody said he was a dreadful heretic. But then a text called the Nirvana Sutra came to India, which said precisely that. So everybody had to admit that this man was right. He also began to teach that awakening must be instantaneous. It's a kind of all or nothing state. I don't mean that there aren't degrees of its intensity.
I've been here the whole time.
But once you see the principle, you see the whole thing. As they say, when the bottom falls out of the bucket, all the water goes together.
Whom shall I kill? I can't wait. I go in silence. See no evil.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Smoke. Since you put it like that.
Your middle tower is under attack.
He is the chosen one.
Like a whisper.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Godlike.
Radiant structures are fortified. Your bottom
real
tower is
mind-
under attack.
While all those emotions are going on, is imperturbable.
Take another stab at
Just like when you move your hand through the sky, you don't leave a track.
taste.
The birds don't stain the blue when they pass by. And when the water reflects the image of the geese, the reflection doesn't stick there. So, to be pure-minded, in the Zen way, or clear-minded is a better way of translating it, is not to have no thought.
Quietly now.
It's not a question of not thinking about dirty things. One great master of the
Your
Tang
middle
dynasty,
tower
when
has
asked what is
fallen.
Buddha, believe it or not, answered, a dried turd.
Quickly, quickly.
So it's not that kind of purity. It is purity, clarity,
Like a whisper.
in the sense that your mind isn't sticky. You don't harbor grievances. You don't be attached to the past. You go with it, with life. Life is flowing all the time. That is the Tao, the flow of life. You
Quickly.
are going along with it whether you want to or not. You're like people in a stream. You can swim against the stream, but you'll still
Your
be
top
moved along
tower
by
is
it.
under attack.
And all you'll do is wear yourself out in futility. But if you swim with the stream, the whole strength of the stream is yours. Of course, the difficulty that so many of us have is finding out which way the stream is going.
Oh, now
But
it's on.
suddenly, as it goes, all the past vanishes, the future has not yet arrived. And there is only one place to be, which is here.
Your bottom tower is under attack. bottom tower is under attack.
They just fade away.
Awakening. It's the same in a way as the Sanskrit bodhi, awakening from the illusion of being a separate ego locked up in a bag of skin, discovering that you are the whole universe. And of course, if you do discover that, and you do see into it all of a sudden, it's a shock, because your whole common sense is turned directly inside out. Everything is the same as you've always seen it, but completely different. Because you know who you are.
Stealthy and wise.
Never be worrying about it. What was all that fuss?
Yes.
What was all that to do? Well, you see, it was part of the game.
Like a whisper. Quietly now. My skill
Your middle tower is under attack.
sharp. Go as you bid. As you bid.
Everything from one point of view is fuss. And to do. To do. What is there to do?
Quickly, quickly.
But when you wake up and discover that all this to
Post
do
haste.
wasn't you, what you thought was you, but was
Whom
the
shall I
entire
kill?
works, which we could just call it, that you're it and it is it,
Yes.
everything is it, and it does all things that are done, then that is a great surprise. But it sounds tasteless. It sounds empty. It sounds void.
Quickly.
Because if I say, well, you're all it, that is a statement without the slightest
Oh,
logical
look,
sense.
it's me.
Because we don't know what is it unless there's something that isn't it. But if it's both all isn't and all isn't, then we can't think about it. Nevertheless, it is highly possible to see that so, in a way that's so vivid it fills your heart with all your 5 mouths.
Your middle tower is under attack.
At your service. Quiet as cats. I sprint as smoke. See no evil. Here I am.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Stealth makes wealth. We go in silence.
A master who was once asked, what is the Tao, the way, replied, walk on. Actually, go. As we say, go man, go. go. And it is this aspect of Zen which is what is truly understood by detachment, or having a mind that isn't sticky and that isn't stopped at any point in its whole working. To be stopped at a certain point
Loyal warrior.
is what is called having a doubt,
Service.
as when one fumbles or wobbles or hesitates about something, trying to find the right solution for the circumstances by thinking it out in a situation where there really is no time to think it out.
Quiet as cat's
So that when a Zen teacher asks his disciple a question, he expects an immediate answer, as it were, without thought or premeditation.
See no evil. Yes. I sprint. Why prolong the inevitable? Since you put it like that. I go in silence. Here I am. Taste. As you did. Perpetual agony.
They speak in Zen, they use a phrase, to have a mind of no deliberation.
Like a whisper.
They also speak of a kind of person, a man who doesn't depend on anything. That is to say, on a formula, on a theory, on a belief to govern his actions. This person who doesn't stick anywhere is like Dante's image at the end of the Paradiso, where he says in the presence of the vision of God that my volition now and my desires were moved as a wheel revolving evenly by love that moves the sun and other stars.
Your bottom tower is under attack. That's a two-time. Your middle tower is under attack.
As smoke. Dispatch.
But if you are brought up to believe yourself split, I remember my mother used to say to me when I did naughty things,
I grow
she said, Alan, that's not like you.
Since you put it like that.
So I had, some conception of what was like me in my better
The
moments, that
enemy's
is to
middle
say,
tower
in the
has
moments when I
fallen.
remembered what my mother would like me to do.
Quiet as cat's feet.
And so that split is implanted in us all. And because of our being split-minded, we are always dithering. Is the choice that I am about to make of the higher self or of the lower self? Is it of the spirit or is it of the flesh? Is the word that I have received of the Lord or is it of the devil? nobody can decide. Because if you knew how to choose, you wouldn't have to.
Quickly, quickly. Silence.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Quickly. Oh, yes. See no evil. Here I am.
So, it is important to overcome split-mindedness. But what is the way? Where can you start from if you're already split? A Taoist saying is that when the wrong man uses the right means work in the wrong way. So what are you to do? How can you get off it and get moving?
Silent as smoke.
Fundamentally, of course, you have to be surprised. Winthrop Sargent, not so long ago, the great Zen priest in Kyoto, he posed to him the question, who are you? He said, well, I'm Winthrop Sargent. No, he said, I don't mean that. I mean, who are you really? Well, then he went into all sorts of abstractions about his being a particular human being and so on. Journalist and so on. The priest just laughed. Then the priest just tossed off the conversation and a little later made a joke. And Sargent laughed. And he said, there you are.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
There was an army officer who once came to a Zen master and said, I have heard a story about a man who kept producing a bottle. And it was growing very rapidly. And he didn't want to break the bottle and he didn't want to hurt the goose, so how would he get it out? The Zen master didn't answer the question at all, but simply changed the subject. Finally, the officer got up to leave. And opened the door, and suddenly the Zen master called out, oh, officer.
The enemy's middle
Turned around and
barracks
said, yes.
have fallen.
The master said, there, it's out.
The enemy's middle barracks have fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
Humanity!
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
When you are perfectly free to feel stuck or not stuck, then you're unstuck.
Whom shall I kill?
Because actually, nothing can stick on the real mind, and you will find this out if you watch the flow of your thoughts. There is an expression in Chinese which means
See no evil.
the flow of thoughts, or what we call in literary criticism, stream of consciousness. And they put the character for thought 3 times. Nyan, nyan, nyan. And so you will notice that
Quietly
thought
now.
follows thought follows thought when you are just ruminating. And those thoughts arise and go
You bid.
like waves on the water. All the time, they come and go. And when they go,
It's me.
they are as if they had never been here.
Bounty. Yes.
Manly.
Quickly. Silent as smoke. As you bid. Quietly now.
No! I'm risking.
Since you put it like that.
And it is from this connecting of thoughts that we get the sensation that behind our thoughts there is a thinker who controls them and experiences them. Although the notion that there is a thinker is just one member in the stream of thoughts.
Already dead. Quickly.
Such absurd phrases not only as thinking our thoughts, feeling our feelings, seeing sights and hearing sounds. But you must understand it is perfectly obvious that seeing a sight is seeing, hearing a sound is hearing, feeling a feeling is feeling. So in the same way, thinking a thought is thinking. But you get split-minded, you see, and so you get I and me, and the I who ought to or must control me as a sensation of some real entity that stands aside from thoughts and chooses among them, controls them, regulates them, and so on. Actually, this is a way to have one's thoughts not controlled. The more there is this duality of the separate thinker
The enemy's
standing
bottom
aside from the
tower has
thoughts,
fallen.
the separate
The
feeler
enemy's bottom
watching or
barracks have
feeling the
fallen.
feelings, the more
You now
the
have
stream of
mega
feeling
goals.
is coaxed into self-protective activity, into getting more and more like a stunt record, the purposes of which are to protect, aggrandize, and enlarge the status of the supposed thinker. When Joshu, Tang Dynasty Zen master, was asked, he made some reference to the enlightened mind being like a mind of a child. They said, well, what is the mind of a child? And he said, a ball in a mountain stream. And that is exactly what happens in the process of attachment, or what are called in Buddhist klesha, which mean disturbing confusions of the mind. And you see, this kind of confusion is something to which the human organism is peculiarly liable, because the human organism has language, you see, thinking is silent language. And I mean language in the most inclusive sense of the word, not only words, but also images and numbers, notation. Just because then we can talk about anything, we can talk